So why have you not started that business yet? What are you waiting for? And then I will try. If I think I'm saying it right. Minimum in my mother language. You wanna start a TikTok, a creator channel, a YouTube to promote your ideas? What are you waiting for? I think I know. You're scared. They're gonna judge you. The friends, the family, you're not doing it for them, right? You're doing it for you. Start this week. Promote yourself. Don't wait for somebody to promote you. Do it freaking afraid. Love you. Bye.
Let me tell you guys why it's so important to have or start a business, even if you have a 9-to-5, even if you plan on staying at your 9-to-5. This is why it's so important. Number one, asset protection. You're putting your assets, anything that's making you money, you're putting it in the name of the business. So it's not going to affect your personal credit. If someone were to sue you, if something were to happen, it is in your business's name, right? So that's one of the reasons why you want to have a business. The second reason, a lot of people, let's be honest, we don't start out with good credit. A lot of us don't have good credit. And even if you do have good credit, you might want to save it for something like a mortgage or just something like that. Having a business is going to allow you to get credit, loans, all of the things under the name of your business. That's important because you're going to qualify for more. The limits are much, much higher on the business side, right? You're also going to have tax breaks, right? So a lot of the big ticket items that you buy for your business, whether it be vehicles, inventory, equipment, whatever the case, you're going to get tax write-offs for that. So essentially you are getting credit for that. So having a business and starting a business is not just, oh, I want to make sales and I want to make money, but the government will pay you big money for what you already do, what you're already selling within your business, what you probably already do at your 9-to-5. The government, the state, contracts, corporations, they will pay you to do the exact same thing that you are doing now. You can't pass down your job. You can pass down your business, but you can't pass down your job. Let's say that you have a business and you just get sick of it. Like a couple years pass by, you don't want to do this anymore. You can sell the business. Yes, having your 9-to-5 is absolutely okay. I'm never going to just say, oh, go out and quit your job. But let's be honest. I don't know anybody who's gotten rich off of their 9-to-5. I don't know anybody who was able to pass down generational wealth from their 9-to-5. So there's a lot of people that might disagree and say, oh, entrepreneur, TikTok, everybody's saying quit your job, entrepreneurship is not for everybody. No, it's not for everybody. But even if you were to just start an LLC, get it registered with the IRS, and you just have it sit in age for a couple of years, you could sell that LLC for a couple $1,000s. So there are so many ways to make money from your business and so many ways to protect your assets that even if you have a 9-to-5, you should definitely still have and start a business.
In 2025, it's going to be a must to have your own business. I'll say it again. In 2025, it is a must to have your own business. Hey, I'm Joy. I'm your business bestie. I'm going to break down why you must have a business in 2025. The new administration is in. You like them, you love them, you don't. It doesn't matter. The writing is on the wall with where they're going. So it's time for you to prepare you and your family's financial future to make sure that you're in alignment with where we're going. Okay? This new administration is going to be pro-business. So, number one, they are laying off remote workers. So if you do not work where you live, either you're going to move to your job or you're not going to have a job. Okay. So if you're a remote worker, you need to have a business. I believe this new administration just announced $500 billion into AI, okay? So the future is going to be having robots, AI, replacing jobs, okay? So if your job is replaceable with AI, you need to be starting a business. There is going to be no more DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. That's gone, okay? So if you are a minority, if you are a woman, baby, they are placing you on leave and then laying you off. Now, we already know by the history of this country, The history does not treat everyone as equal, okay? White women couldn't vote until the 1920s. Blacks couldn't vote until 1964. A woman couldn't get a bank account in her own name until the 1960s. And women couldn't have a credit card or a mortgage on their own until 1974, okay? So all of this trying to make sure that we're all treated equal is out of the window. So if there is no rules or regulations in place to make sure that everyone has a spot, they're going to go back to, what they consider is getting a job on your merit. And by the history of this country, baby, minorities weren't even considered people. Okay. So they are not looking for you. They're not looking for you. Facebook just announced they're looking for more masculine energy in the job force. So baby, the writing's on the wall. If you are a woman or minority, you need to have a business. So there's also tax increases coming and tax cuts. The proposed tax cuts for business owners is going to increase taxes for single parents and homeowners. If you are paying more in taxes, that means you have less income. So you need to be having a business to supplement those taxes. I'm having a free masterclass teaching you how to start your own business. Join the class today.
I remember sitting in that car and saying, like, there's no way I'm going to make it like this. There's just no way. And I'm not going to cry on the internet, but there was just no way that was the way my life was supposed to go. It's important for me to share my story because I know that there's somebody out there that can relate to it. So about a little over 7 years ago, I started a small business. I decided to take a chance on myself because one day I was driving home in traffic and I was exhausted. Not I need a nap exhausted, not I just need a day off from work, catch up on some rest exhausted, but this was mental exhaustion, physical exhaustion. This was complete burnout. At the time, I was a single mom. I was waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning, getting my kid ready for school, driving him in traffic, sitting in the school traffic line, if you know, getting him to school, fighting in traffic again to get to my office, and then getting off work, fighting in traffic to make sure I get to him on time, making our way home. God forbid we have to stop at the grocery store, coming home, cooking, doing homework, and then really just not having no time, really just maybe a little bit of time to spend with each other or whatever, and then go to bed. Start all over the next day. And I can still feel those same emotions today when I think about this. I remember sitting in that car and saying, like, there's no way I'm going to make it like this. There's just no way. And I'm not going to cry on the internet, but there was just no way that was the way my life was supposed to go. My son deserved more time. I deserved more time for myself. And there had to be a better way. I had to do something different. And I remember praying and just saying, like, God, I got to do something different. And that day was the day that sparked the change in my mind to figure out how to do something different. I didn't know I was going to start a business. I had never started a business before. I had zero business ideas. I had no business background, no nothing. I didn't have a mentor. I didn't have no rich boyfriend that could give me money to just throw at stuff or whatever the case may be. No, I had no idea, but I knew that something in my life had to change because there was no way I can continue going the way that I was. And if you are in that place right now in your life where you realize that, like, what I'm doing is just not gonna cut it for me, it's not it. It is up to you to decide how to make that change in your life. You have the power to change that. Do not sit and let life continue to go by, because it will, whether you decide to make a change or not. Sometimes I sit back and I think, like, what if I was so afraid or too afraid to take a chance to change my life? You have the power to change your life.
Hey, so I'm the lady that builds a 5-figure remote cleaning business while going through a divorce and also losing my corporate job with 3 children as a single mother. And one thing that I realized as an online business owner is that in our process of creating our businesses, we sometimes get connected to the things that really don't matter, okay? What I mean is, if you are a beginner at starting an online business, it could be something similar to mine, service-based businesses, or It could be a business to where as you're selling products online or maybe digital products, whatever have you, you have to get away from the mentality that starters, okay, begin with. And that is, we tend to pay attention to the things that don't generate money. Okay. Now, this is not to say that having a brand and logos and business cards and all of those things don't matter. But what you'll find, if not careful, is that you're putting out money towards the business before you even make money for the business. So now you've invested cash, capital, whatever you want to call it, into a business that you really didn't even have to put money into. When it comes to of online remote businesses, they're attractive because the bottom line is you can start them without spending a whole lot of money. Now, I think there are some key things that have to be taken care of, okay? Like if you start a remote cleaning business, you have to make sure that you have business insurance, especially if you have already started to get clients. You do want to make sure that your entity is in place. Are you going to be an LLC? Did you get your EIN number? Do you have your business bank accounts? Those are the things that matter. You can call your business your first name, your first and middle name for the beginning parts of it. And then once you start to get cash flow in, then you can focus on the shiny things. Because at the end of the day, we tend to kind of hinder ourselves because we're paying attention to the wrong things. So here's your sign from a remote cleaning business, online business owner to let you know, focus on the things that matter, okay? Focus and plan the business in and of itself to start to generate leads, okay? Let your family, your friends know. Allow for other business owners to know that you're creating this business so that really, even before you get ready to launch, you already have clientele lined up. Now, I know we want to have a logo and we want to have our brand together, but that's going to evolve over time as the business evolves, okay? So I want you to keep first things first. So if you are ready to build a remote cleaning business before 2026 comes in, or you want to focus on digital products, which are still online assets, in the comments, type the word ready and then shoot me a DM and I'll go ahead and send you a scheduling link for a pre-consultation so we can get you started.
Starting a supplement company was the smartest decision that I've ever made in my entire life across all of my businesses, all of my ventures. And I'm going to tell you exactly why starting a supplement business company, whatever you want to call it, is the way to go in 2025, especially if you want to get into e-com. Now, in general, if you want to get into business and making a bunch of money, I would still recommend it. But if you're someone who wants to get into e-commerce and selling something online, a physical product, I highly, highly, highly recommend supplements because there's so many benefits that every other category doesn't have. Now, for one, you can sell at a premium price because you're going to be solving someone's direct pain point. If I have acne, I'm uncomfortable, I go out in public, I'm thinking about it constantly, I will do anything. I will try anything. And if you've ever had like skin problems, you probably tried everything. And you can validate the fact that you'll pay a premium price for something that solves a problem, right? And so if you're selling a supplement for acne, there's so many people and that pain point that you can touch on to sell the product. And I promise it will sell if it solves someone's problem like this. Now, two is that you have subscriptions. Now, this is the absolute cheat code because subscriptions are going to allow you to break even, maybe even lose money on your advertising, right? If you're selling something, typically, if it takes you $20 to acquire a customer on, Facebook ads, we'll say you sell your product for $40. Okay, you made $8 net profit at the end, but now you got to go find somebody else. You got to find somebody else. You have to keep finding new people, which you still have to do with a supplement brand. But the thing is that you slowly start to stack subscriptions. So if you offer someone, hey, $5 off your order, but it gets auto delivered every single month, they're going to need it anyway, right? And they're going to purchase it anyway. But a lot of people forget, or they'll use it once and they don't give it enough time to see results. So if they opt into subscriptions, you can build the same person multiple times, and you only have to acquire them once. And so like most businesses in e-com, when they start out, like they'll be hemorrhaging money or breaking even for the first few months while they figure out their ads, they figure out their audience, their customers, all this stuff. And even if worst case scenario, that happens to you too, you're not going to be hemorrhaging money because you're going to be stacking subscriptions. So if you have 100 people who opt into subscription month one, Now those people are guaranteed sales for your bottom line the next month. And then after that month, now you have 300, 400, 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, 100,000. Like, you can make so much money without risking as much, because you're slowly actually accruing customers who you can guarantee, you can validate will buy again. So you can sell for a lot of money, you'll have good margins, you have subscriptions, and you can solve someone's pain point, which guarantees it doesn't flop. You don't need to test 100 crappy products from China. You pick one supplement, you sell to solve someone's issue, you make subscriptions, you stack that bag, and you make a ton of money.